Welcome, everyone. This is such a treasure. We've never had so many people sign up for a presentation. We had over 600 people, and this only went out on Tuesday morning. And actually, yesterday, I think, from Dogwise and some other places. So you're in for a treat. I just have to tell you, I have to hold this book up first before I even applaud our incredible authors of this book. I'm going to make this a speaker view. And look at this, how thick this book is. Over 1,300 colored photographs with descriptions. You see that white line through there, just showing the posture, you'll see, I mean, Katja, they're going to talk about this, but I just get so excited and I keep it out right in my living room when I go through and I like look at different pages almost every day. So with that, I want to first introduce you I'll start with Gabi because Katja is going to be doing most of the talking since Gabi's English isn't quite yet up to speed, right? It's good. You understand, but it's great. So Gabi is a practitioner 3 for dogs and companion animals, and she began her training in 1998. But she met me actually in the 70s at a horse demo for Icelandic horses, which she rode at the time. And she's one of the things that she said, and I'm just going to read a little bit of this. First of all, I want to say for 8 years, she was the editor of this magazine, comes out quarterly in Germany. This is a very slick it's a Tellington magazine. It's all about the Tellington work. And you did an incredible job, Gabi, of that. And thank you so much for all those years. And she said during the trainings, which she started her practitioner training 25 years ago, and she met Katja during the training. Already at that time, she was searching for literature about the body language of dogs and couldn't find anything except the Canine Body Language by Brenda Aldrup. This is how she and Katja got the idea for this book, and the adventure began. And they just wanted to fill out more information on body language on dogs and make it available to people who love. And what an incredible job you did. So they spent over 12 years photographing, evaluating, and researching. So I am just so thrilled to be able to present them. So I want to tell you about Katja. When she was only 2 years old, she explained to her parents that life without a dog would not be conceivable. She received her first dog on her 3rd birthday and has had several dogs and many other animals. Several. She got her first dog on her 3rd birthday and had a lot of dogs in between. After finishing school, Katja opened her own dog school on her favorite city, Berlin, and has the biggest dog school in Berlin since quite a long time now. Right from the start, she integrated Tellington TTouch in combination with clicker training into all her classes. In parallel, she's trained her own dogs for film and for television. One of Katja's interests is scent detection training. She's been working with mold detection dogs for over 2 decades and is involved with wildlife detection dogs and trains people to do that with their dogs. She's also involved in project training dogs and pigs to sniff out breath samples for lung cancer patients. With her colleague, Lena Grossbecker, Katja teaches students who want to work with their dog in a social, therapeutic, or educational environment. This training combines Tellington TTouch, clicker training, and leading dogs in balance, which Katja created with Stephanie Hornum, who was one of our practitioners who is now with us from heaven. In the meantime, she was very successfully leads a combined training, TTouch and click training, where with dog trainers and veterinarians who are trained to become TTouch associates. It's an amazing program. Katja has also created an online course with her colleague Gabi Vana which transfers nonviolent communication, according to Marshall Rosenberg, to dealing with animals. The course is available in English, and it's called Loving Animals. Katja's participation in Animal TV has sparked a lot of interest in her as a speaker, both at home and abroad. She regularly travels to Dubai to support the royal family in the training of their animals. They have an amazing zoo. I've had the privilege of seeing some of the animals and some of the work that Katja has been doing, but her heart really belongs to dogs. She believes she was one in a past life. I want to know which breed.
I don't know. Perhaps some breeds. A mixture. I think a mixture.
That's for sure. Katja is the author of several books, including Educating Dogs with the Clicker and the highly successful this book now, Dogs in Translation, which she co-wrote with TTouch practitioner Gabi Maue. The book reached the prestigious Spiegel bestsellers list in Germany and has been described as the Bible to reading and understanding dogs' emotions. So, Katja, I'm going to turn this over to you.
And we have a third person in our team. Without her, the book will not come out. And this is our extraordinary lecture, and she is with us now. So perhaps I can let her say some sentence before I will take the presentation on. This Gisela Rau, and she is really, we have so much help from her, and she made that this book comes out in this way. And in German, you have to know, Linda showed this the English version, and the English version is really a big book, but the German version is bigger. So you can realize perhaps that it is really a very super special lecture that she organized it with us.
Really wait a second. You've got somebody's got their phone.
I think maybe there's just too many people unmuted, maybe.
But Zoe Carter, yes, now I think it's better because I think it was the micro from her. Yeah. So and Gisela is with us, and perhaps she can say something. Gisela, would you say something?
Yeah, hi there. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, I'm the German editor of the book, and I'm really incredibly happy. It's making its way into the world, and it has been translated, and that's really great to see. I really love that so many people seem to be interested in really to learn to understand their dogs. Because this book is all about understanding. It's not about controlling or how to make dogs function or how to train them. It's really about understanding, seeing, respecting, and appreciating them. And this is extraordinary, I think. And yes, so I'm really happy I could make a little contribution to this tremendous work the two authors did. And it was a little discouraging in the beginning because they had almost twice as much photos as we have now. So the hardest thing was to throw out about 1,000 photos because there are just limits of how much information
we have a lot cried. We have a lot cried at this moment, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but still we had some 600 pages left, and the British editor we found, I'm really happy we found him. He managed to shrink it down to some 400. He didn't left anything out. He just was a little bit more economical in space than we had been. So we had some larger pictures and some more decoration and so on. But the contents are the same. Yeah, and I'm really happy, and I wish this book a lot of success. And by the way, there will be a French and Dutch and Spanish edition as well. And so we are looking for more countries.
And Czech, I don't know. Czech?
And Czech, yeah, we just did yesterday. We're right, Katja. Yesterday we signed a contract with a Czech editor in Prague. So yeah, it's making its way, and yeah, let's see what happens next. So I'm just keeping fingers crossed for good success.
Thanks, Gisela. Thanks, because it was really without her. I think it is not this book we have really made now. So thanks a lot. Okay.
Katja,
Yeah.
Teresa Cottarelli wrote the German title in the chat. Somebody had asked about it. And they'll be showing the booksellers where you can get it here in the United States too. So
Yeah, but I don't know if they get the German version also there, Gisela, on Dogwise, because
no, I don't think so. The
there
German
was a
version.
question in Canada how she can get the German version.
She would best write to us at Kynos in Germany, and we can see what's the possibility to ship it to Canada, and what's the cost.
And I have in one of the last slides, Gisela's address is also in there. So yeah, this is not so easy to bring all this different languages in the whole world. We are happy to have the German version in the German speaking world and the English version now in the English speaking world, but now we have the other Herausforderungen. I don't know.
and Katja, somebody just asked about this. This is the workbook, and I'm going to be reading a couple of questions at some point out of it. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Just so you
and
know, there's
yeah.
a representative from Dogwise is on the call too. So she just put that she can answer questions too for people from about getting the book in North America.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I have the workbook also in the presentation. So I think I will start with the presentation right now. Huh?
Good idea.
Okay.
And I see Debbie says Japanese would be great. You must make a translation in Japanese.
Japanese and Chinese and Arabic. This I want to have also, but we'll see. Okay.
Italian also.
Italian,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
This is the next one, I think. Italian, I think
Wow.
this will happen
Next
after.
project.
Yeah. And Finnish, we have also now, Shan, we have made connections. Yeah. Freigeben. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, I have to look after my. So, yes, this is the book and the workbook, and I will show some pages from this book. But first, I want to mention that I think this is what the Tellington TTouch method is so special about. That Linda says before we made this book, that the first pillar of the Tellington TTouch method is observation. And so this is the important step, because after the observation, we can decide to do something. Without, we can't. So I want to mention this here. These are sample pages. We have choose because every page in our book, I think it's interesting, but of course it's my book. But this is what you how you can see it is. We have made first to show where on the body we can see something, and this is one of the first pages. I think it's 10. Yes, the points of the head. And you can see on the head from a dog a lot things. And so we have made this big picture with the points, the ears and the base of the ears. You can have a look at the top and the midline of the head can say to you something. The eyes, of course, the eyes can say a lot. And Gabi, if you want to add something, you can. We have such a lot German English speaker. I think it's really no problem. If you have something, it's no problem. Say it.
Okay. Okay.
Mouth and corner of the mouth. This, of course, I think the most of you know this, that it is, of course, important to see if the teeth are visible or not. The nose and the nostrils. We have, I think, more than this word for these special hairs in the on the mouth on the dog. The cheeks and the bridge of the nose, and all this we have in the book special parts in and describe on more than one picture. I think most are 3 to sometimes 10 pictures show how this part of the head can shown to us and what the dog say with this, or always we have the opinion and the dog has the fact. We know this all, but we try on we think we know our dogs very well, and the most of the pictures are our dogs, and we see what was happened after this situation, and so we can say, okay, yes, the dog feels really happy, or he was angry or whatever. Yeah, and you see here facial expressions after this one big picture. You can see this 4 pictures, little pictures in our German book. They are a little bit bigger, so you can see it better than this, but I think it's enough also here in this English version, and you can see how different the dog head looks, and what can happen in it's only a sample of 4 heads to say, look what can happen in the face.
And Katja,
yeah,
this is so interesting because, as you know, of course, I've been doing personality analysis and observation of horses for so many years, and I'm frequently asked, well, what about dogs? And you've done it. I mean, that's what the meaning behind is of the expression and the changes in those parts. It's just, I love every bit, but that's especially interesting to me with the, what you observe to get a sense of that animal and how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Way more than horses, way more.
Yeah, way more, because you have more different Größen, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And shapes and so on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the right page, this is page 88, so you can see where we are in the book now. We described something about the mouth, and in the first picture above, it's Kiviv. Kiviv was the dog from Gabi, and we have a lot of pictures of Kiviv in this book, because our idea was, if you can read a dark, long-haired dog, you can read every dog, because it's much more difficult to read a long hair and a dark one than the most of my dogs are hell, light. Yes, and so it's really hard also for the camera to make good pictures of this black dog, and Gabi has done a really good job to make, I don't know, I think 100 pictures of this one dog, and so she has really a lot to compare this. And so we have a lot from Kiviv also in our book. And there are the points. It's relaxed mouth, length slightly due to the heat, It was hot on this day. Corner of the lips pulled back, lips hang loosely, whiskers slightly raised, and additional clues indicating relaxation. Tips of the ears hang loosely, almond-shaped eyes, tongue rests loosely over the teeth, no tension in the tip of the tongue. And all these points say to us that this dog is really, it's relaxed and looks after something, but has no tension, that it is something really interesting out there.
Katja?
Yeah.
We have one chapter in the book with the title, How Many Faces Has My Dog? And there you will find all the pictures of Kiwi in different situations, in different emotions.
Yeah. So you can really have one picture after the next one and can compare really, okay, now I see the whiskers or whatever.
Red eyes.
Yeah, and so you can really learn to make a better observation. Yeah. And after this is Spot, this is the dog of my sister, or it was the dog of my sister. Now he's also in heaven. And it's the same, relaxed mouth lengthened due to tiredness, mouth lengthened, lips hanging loosely, whiskers pulled back, additional clues indicating, because this was a chapter about the mouth. And so we say, okay, this you can see on the mouth. And then, of course, there are other things also, because we always say that you have to mention the whole situation. You can't say, this picture says all. This we always repeat in the book. So, of course, you have to look what is the situation around and what is the whole body is saying of this dog, because perhaps you know this also sometimes if the technique in Zoom is not working very well, and you have this one picture of a face of someone, you think, oh my God, how's he looking? But it is only one picture and it's saying nothing. It is always to look what comes before, what comes after, and what says the dog also with his body. And here additional clues indicating relaxation, ears hanging loosely, eyes almost closed, tongue resting loosely on top of front teeth, no tension in the tip of the tongue. This all you can see on this one picture. And this is now page 354. And so you see we are made a big jump in this book, because we only want to show you really only some examples. But this, I think it's a good example, because here you see we have a lot of the series from pictures, so you can see what happened first, what is going on, and what is the solution of this situation. And this is a series from also my dogs. The little black one with the circle around is one of my dog, and one of the last black ones. After these, the most of them are light. And in front, the sheep poodle, the bigger ones, she has not long hairs on this page or picture, because I have shaped her. Normally she have really long hairs, and these are mine. And we were on a beach, and this foreground of where a lot dogs are meeting, and the most of the dogs not knowing each other. And yeah, you can go there. It's in Berlin, and the most of the time you have situations there you can yeah, it's interesting for the dogs, but not so often I go there. It's more for pictures because it's really stressing for the most of the dogs. So, and you see the little one comes in the back, and in the front Arvin meet this Rhodesian Ridgeback. Arvin is my sheep poodle female. And the next picture in the middle, you see it's, I think, a little bit normal for Rhodesian Ridgeback that they showed like this body. And for my, in this time, young sheep poodle, it was not so nice for her. You can see it on her whole body. And but the Rhodesian Ridgeback have realized it in this situation and goes backwards. But my older one, the black one, have now see how our younger is feeling, and she comes to, I think, to rescue her family member. But I don't know. Perhaps she don't like Rhodesian Ridgeback. No. She was fine with other dogs. She has no problem with a special breed. So I think it was that she want to that these both dogs are separated. And this this example pages comes from the chapter Splitting. And so you can see now on the next page above that the situation between Arvin and the Rhodesian Ridgeback calmed down, but Tashka, the little black one, she has not really realized. She was now coming, and she has now to clear up that she think it's not so nice that the Rhodesian Ridgeback comes like this to Arvin, and so she is going between them and shows also to the Rhodesian Ridgeback her teeth and say in a very unpolitely way, I think, stop now, you have to go now. and the text between next to the last one, Tashka is not happy until Arvin turns away from the stranger and leaves. Tashka feels she has an important role to play. Arvin is part of her family and is not supposed to make connection with other dogs. Perhaps this was a reason for doing this. We not know, it is only a feeling of mine. Tashka action seems quite aggressive. They certainly made an impression on the Rhodesian Ridgeback, but there's no physical contact between the two dogs. And this, if you see this on the beach, of course it sounds really loud. And of course, in the first, you get a little shock about this. But if you see the picture, you can realize that they have distance between. You see, Tashka is not really on this other dog. And so they certainly made an impression on the Rhodesian Ridgeback between the two dogs, which are fairly equal in size. Tashka's point of balance stays in the center, and the Rhodesian is leaning away from her. So in this exactly, we can only see in such a picture. We can't see in a video, because a video has much too much pictures. We can't realize this special point. And so for me and for Gabi, it was always important to show like these series what is going on and what you can see and what is perhaps the reason for this. But we always repeat that these are only our opinions, and perhaps it's right, or I don't know. Perhaps she has other reason for doing this, but this was my old dog, and I live with her normally 24 hours, and so I think I know her very well, and I can have an opinion about what is going on with her. You have questions about this this series or what I told now?
Yeah, and they can go down to the bottom on reaction and just click your hand, click on reactions and you raise your hand. Let's see, can we go back to, Robin, can you see everything? I can't see anything.
Here is something in the chat. How does this compare to Barbara Handelmann's book?
I have answered, Katja.
Huh?
Ich habe schon kurz geantwortet. I have answered, yes.
Perfect.
Let's answer it for the group, please, because any of those questions are interesting to everybody. And I think that would be really, you could describe the book because it comes up and what the difference is.
Gabi said the book, or say it by your own.
Yes,
Gabi.
the book of Barbara Handelmann is different to our book. She had used the alphabet to describe any behavior of dogs. But I think das ist völlig anders. Also this is
really
very different.
Yeah,
they are one behavior with one photo. We have one behavior with many photos.
This from splitting is only one series, so we have, I think from splitting we have 4 or 5 series about this behavior. And so Barbara Handelmann have shown a dog makes a play bowl, and she have 1 or 2 pictures about this, but not this series and not this much on details in a description.
And Katja, one of the things that really got me about your book is the fact that there are so many different types and breeds and sizes and colors and situations. And that it's just so rare for anyone to take this many photographs and then to put in the your opinion, your analysis with the lines, showing the lines to show the dog's posture exactly. It's just so interesting. But
yes,
I'm going to watch the chat too, so because I think it's really helpful for people. And the Dogwise representative is here, and is that okay, Katja? I would like to ask her. I assume you really looked through the book. What is your opinion of the book? I don't remember your name. I'm sorry, I just saw
Erica. Erica's her name.
Should we bring her on? And she can also tell people at this point, there were quite a few questions about how to get the book, and she can give you some ideas.
She just has to unmute herself.
Oh, she's right in the chat. Give me just a minute and I can jump on the call.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great.
Erica Austin.
So we can look at some of the other questions that came up that weren't, so that not everybody's watching the chat. Robin, can you see?
It was mostly just about where to get the book, and that Ela got it through Able Books, and book came from Austria. She wanted the German copy. She wanted the German book.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So other than that, they really aren't. You think you've covered it.
Okay, so
you've covered it all.
So,
I can show more pages if you want.
Go ahead. Yes, we would love to see more pictures.
I know. We have not such a lot today because we have most of the time the decision what to show is hard for us. One picture I have choose because it's I have trained also. Linda has said it in Dubai, and this is on the Palm Beach, and I think this is a really nice picture about the 5 Fs. We showed this in the picture with in the book with the this is that poodle is standing in front of this for him unknown dog, the brown and white one. It's relative old one and very friendly one dog. But Poodle does not knowing a lot dogs, and so he was a little bit afraid about. And so this was our first picture from the 5S, and he stands. When dogs are very tense, they show an increase in calming signals or signs of embarrassment, such as shaking off or scratching. If a dog feels he is real danger, he will usually resort to behaviors categorized as the 5Fs of fear. And here it is, I think, a little bit freezing. And I see it a lot in my puppy school, where a lot puppies and the little one especially, that they freeze, and the owners are not seeing that the puppy needs help in this time. And so it's always important also to see if the dog is not, in our opinion, it's not doing anything, that perhaps it's because he has stress.
And Katja, would you like to describe the 5Fs? Because not everybody knows what they are.
Yeah, here are two more. We have freeze, we have flight, we have fight. And these are the pictures of flight and fight. And I think I love these pictures because it's if you not see that these two dogs on the flight side are flighting, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you see nothing, because I think
fine.
So just one, Katja, Robin, is there any way we can enlarge this picture? Can't we make it full screen?
Well, it's full screen for me, so I don't know.
Well, it's just.
It would be, it's, Katja has the screen. Katja has the screen, so she's the only one that can change it.
Okay, I try. Let me see if I can do
I can't
something.
tell because it looks large to me.
We can make it full screen
Covering
ourselves.
only half. Oh, we can?
We can make it full screen ourselves. It depends on your settings on the right upper corner.
Thank you. So full, okay, now show a picture.
Perfect.
But wait,
Thank you, Karen.
yeah, there. Oh my God. Sorry, you all. I should have known this. I was asleep at the wheel here. What a
So now you can see it better.
Yeah, totally. It's twice as big.
So you see that these both dogs really flee. So and the first one, you see this big German Shepherd really near to this little dog, and of course he feels he's in danger. And so here I think it's really the point that the person to the relates to the German Shepherd has to realize what is going on and to call his dog back, because this is really hard for this little dog. And in the other picture, it's the same, that this bigger black dog, it's really near to this Weimaraner, I think, in the front. And you see the eyes, so you see the pupils are so, is it the right word for this?
Dilated, yeah.
In the eyes? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You see this, that they are so small. So while, and it's saying there to this picture, while playing, it is possible that the game of chase turns into flight for the dog in the lead and hunt for the dog who is chasing. And sometimes we see this, that the dogs are playing nice, but then it changes, and the owners have to realize this and to make a break for the dogs.
And the danger of dog parks.
Yeah, this is also this no leash area in Berlin, and you see this every day. But
Yeah.
I think yeah, we have to teach this all this dog owners. Yeah, and fight is the third point from the 5 Fs. And you see here one group picture. I was with my really young golden retriever and going with her with our breeder, and there are 25 really calm, and you all knows golden retriever are always nice and always friendly with every dog. And I thought, oh no, because the 3 big golden retriever males, also the fathers of some of these puppies they are going with. So of course we are a group of dogs, they knowing each other very well, and they are not castrated. And of course there comes another male dog, also not castrated. And what has happened, you see on the picture. And so here we always try also to say not every golden retriever is friendly, and not every Akita Inu has a problem with other dogs. You have to look after the special individual dog. And it is right what Linda says. For us, it was really important to show as many different type of dogs as we can find from our pictures. Yeah, it was really important for us.
And it's so interesting that so many the owners of dogs do not take into consideration that what appears to be play can turn in a second and can be really terrifying and really bad for a dog.
Yeah, I always I have a dog school for a lot puppies and young dogs, and always and a lot we have now in Berlin a lot small dogs, really small dogs from 2 kilo and less, and most of the time I hear, yes, but the little dogs are always barking, always bark. Yes, but without barking, nobody see this little dog. And if there comes a big dog, no problem. All of the persons look after the big dog, but the little one, you have to say something so that the owner and other persons can or have a look after this dog. And if I say this, sometimes the owners realize, oh yes, you're right. Always, if he says something, I say, oh no, say this. Are quiet now, and but if the dog is quiet, nobody looks after this, and special the little dogs. Yeah.
Just so Erica is here now, that she can get on right now. If we want to just, I'm just gonna pin her and she can unmute herself.
Good morning, everybody. I have a really bad cold. I'm sorry. I was going to try and just answer in the chat, but great question about the difference between the 2 books. So the one big thing that really stuck out to me about this book that's so fascinating and so wonderful is the lots of pictures with one dog. So I've got the ebook version pulled up from the publisher here, and you can kind of see, I think this is page 95. I don't know if you have that one in your slides, so I wanted to see all these, like, just this one dog, this snapshot of that progression of that yawn that we see in that picture, where I think in a lot of other body language books, you get one snapshot of one dog showing one behavior, you know, the full yawn or the full lip lick or something like that. And I really love that in Dogs in Translation, you have, like you said, in a video, there's so much information, but having those split images and then a series of them to show the differences in a progression, that's something that I think is really unique to this book. Someone had asked about the Barbara, oh gosh, it's Canine Photo Illustrations, and now of course I'm going to say her last name incorrectly. It's Barbara, is it Handelman? Thank you. Book. A lot of that in there it's canine behavior. And so it's looking also at other canid species, including wolves and foxes. There's some coyotes in there as well. So there's some sections in the chapters that are about learning theory and how the brain works, and some evolution, which is not the focus of this particular book for Dogs in Translation. And so whoever was asking what the difference in those two books are, that's looking at canine behavior, all canines, including wolves, coyotes, foxes. I think there's some images of wild dogs. And so she does a lot of side-by-side comparison to, here are two, here's a wolf doing a play bow and then a dog doing a play bow, and maybe drawing those parallels a little bit more. So this book obviously focuses specifically on domesticated dogs. And I think that there are maybe a few images in here of feral dogs or world dogs that are not as domesticated, but that's in there as well. So that would be my big distinction between those two books would be, I really love the split photography in this book and just the volume of attention to detail here, as opposed to a lot of other body language books, like I said, are just going to pull up one image. Here's an example of a lip lick or a look away, or a few examples with different dogs of a whale eye, but maybe how did you get to the whale eye? What happened afterwards? I really appreciate that breakdown in this book. So very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do
Thank you.
you
Yeah.
want to say something, Eric, at this point about ordering from Dogwise from other countries, or?
Sure. So what I will say is mostly Dogwise is US based, so shipping can get expensive to other countries. We are only currently carrying the English version of the book, but we will ship it worldwide. So if you want the English version, you just go onto the website. It will tell you what the shipping would be. Prices are going to vary based on where you are. So I had a few people ask about Canada. I had a few people ask about South Africa. And so you really have to go in and type in your address before it's going to tell you the shipping specifically. There's not really a blanket statement for that. But we do have the book and we have the workbook. I will say, hooray, we posted that we are carrying this book. We sold out of our stock of 100 copies. We ordered another 100 copies. We sold out of those. So if you go onto the Dogwise website right now, it will say pre-order, because it will take, we're getting our more stock in. As soon as they get in, we fill those orders. And we do have the workbook as well. We're going to be featuring the workbook in an upcoming newsletter for Dogwise and on our social media in a couple of weeks. But we want to make sure we have plenty of stock before people rush and buy it, because we don't want to run out again. So we're placing another order with the publisher in Germany to get in Europe to get the books over here. So we've got them ready, so that when the response from the public has been so great, we've had so many people who just say it's worth every penny. This is a wonderful resource. So dogwise.com. We've got lots and lots of books, especially this one we're featuring, but you will see if you go to dogwise.com, the book is there, but it will say pre-order, because we're just waiting for our stock to come in so we can ship it to you.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
There were just a couple of comments in where I thought were good. One person asked what you meant by splitting up.
Well,
and
wait a second, Robin. I want to say something what Erica
thank you.
says.
Yeah.
And yes, we have this a lot pictures of one series and so on. And this was also what us take the time for, not only making the pictures, also to look after every of this picture and choose this one. What we do with Gisela also together, which picture we really choose from this. I think sometimes I have on half an hour 2,000 pictures. I know from this. I was in Tunisia with this special place with the lot dogs, and I do I think it was a half an hour or so, I do 2,000 pictures, and this takes really a lot of time to look after all these pictures and choose this picture. You can really see what we want to show to you. Yeah. So now, Robin, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just going to say there were a couple of questions that did get answered, but just got to go back to the chat here.
The question
I thought a great comment: lack of awareness on owner's part. There's not understanding of body language. Katja's doing a great job of explaining body language, which is really good, and can overstimulating play turn into fights? I would say you'd say absolutely. And there was at the very beginning there, and I don't know if you want to address this at some point with any suggestions, that someone came on that is getting I'm just going to get back up here. I'm picking up a dog tomorrow, coming from another country for adoption, Kokani Cavalier mix. Any advice on these first 3 days? He's 2.5 years old. So I don't know if you have anything you'd like to just mention about that.
Can you repeat it? I have not I see it not in the chat, and so
Yeah, so she's getting a rescue dog. That's a Kokani Cavalier cross,
okay.
2.5 years old, and just and you know, maybe you can mention a few things to, I don't know, look for, or I don't know. She didn't say if there are other dogs in the house or anything. So anyway, just if you have any thoughts on how that the first couple of days that she might want to, what she might do for the.
Oh, the first, I think most of the time I say to my clients, let the dog come in and make a relationship with the dog. And if you know Tellington TTouches, do Tellington TTouches with the dog and let him say hello. Because the first weeks, you have to realize what is going on now and what is going on there. And he will, the best you can do is to give him time. Yeah.
And lots of TTouch.
And lots of TTouch, of course, if you know. but we have a lot Tellington TTouch practitioner. You can have a teacher, of course.
Well, yes, we do. And the thing is that normally every week, pretty much, we do something that brings some of the TTouches on so people can learn the basics at least, if they can't get to a practitioner. So Katja, you have slides of the workbook, right?
Yes, I have. Yes, but I want to mention also because we have now freeze and flight and fight. And Linda, for you it was important to say, okay, it's the 5 Fs. So we have also faint, but I have not the picture here in the book, of course. And I have there, we have not a lot pictures of faint with dogs, but we have choose a picture of my golden retriever puppies. I have put them with 8 weeks, not a collar, harness on, her first harness, and all the puppies, I think it takes 5 minutes and all the puppies are sleeping, and really deep sleep. And this, perhaps it is because it was really a lot for their brain. And this is some with other species, sheeps or so, they really faint because they say, okay, I'm dead, so I come out of this situation. This is not really what a dog is doing, but our picture is a little bit like faint, and it's fooling around. This is also what you have to know, because some dogs are looking so nice and doing some so nice things, but they feel not well, and so they make a clown. They are flirting with you, but because they have stress. And so it's also important for us to know these strategies. They cope with stress. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And the freeze.
Yeah, freeze. I say something about first. Yeah. And we have this freeze picture also in our book, but not. I have it not here. So I will show something about the Dogs in Translation workbook. We have this in German also and it was for us, it was important. First, we have the idea to put this workbook in the big book, but the big book was too heavy and too big. We can't put it in. So we decided, okay, perhaps it's nice to have an extra book. And this is one of the series. And in the book, this page is 33, and this page is 9. So you have this solution on the end of this book. So you have here a series of these 3 pictures, and the text is, in these photos we see Ronnie, an adult golden retriever, being crowded by Arwen, a young collie poodle cross. It's not a collie poodle cross. It is my sheep poodle, and it is a German breed. She is out of shot to the right of Ronnie. She is excited about jumping into the car and almost bumps into him because she was really young at this time. Describe what you can see, focusing on the mouth and wrinkles. And we have always 1 or 2 questions. And the questions was, how does Ronnie feel about this situation? And how is he likely respond with the next second? And then you find the solution on the end of the book. And this was the next picture. And here is, you see.
You need to share your screen if you have pictures of it on the, do you have it in your PowerPoint? Or are you just talking about it? I wasn't sure.
Oh yes, I see it. You not?
No.
Yeah, I see it.
I have to stop because I made something because I see it.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Stop and make it new. Wait. See? So.
It must just be my screen for some reason.
There it is.
Yep, for me.
And now you all see what I said about. Here are the 3 pictures, and here are the text, and you can write something in these lines, and on the end of the book you have the solution, and here you can see what he's doing after these 3 pictures, and then you have all the points what you can describe on these pictures, and of course what is coming out. Yeah.
So I think it would be, because it's hard to see it, I'll read them too, because it's really it's nice to see exactly what.
Should I tell more about the text?
Yeah, I think we should just read the text.
Okay. I say it again. On the left is mouth and wrinkles. In these photos, we see Ronnie, an adult golden retriever, being crowded by Arwen, a young collie poodle cross. She is out of shot to the right of Ronnie. She is excited about jumping into the car and almost bumps into him. Describe what you can see, focusing on the mouth and wrinkles, because this was on this chapter of mouth and wrinkles. And the questions we have: how does Ronnie feel about the situation? How is he likely respond within the next second? And the solution, the outcome is see page 33. So, and you have lines and can say something. You can write here in this book. It's really a small book you can write in, and then you can compare it with the end of the book. And this is in 33. And here you have the mouth and wrinkles. In these photos, we see Ronnie again. What is the text also on this page 9, and then the observations. And then you have photo 1. Here you see in photo 1, right ear turned towards the back at the base and pulled tight. Head turned away from Arwen, top of the head tightened. Skin below the eyes slightly tensed all the way to the mouth. Mouth closed, upper lip hanging loosely, bored hairs pointing down. I think here you can really nice see also the wrinkles. Yeah.
And Katja, I mean, very few people pay attention to the exact movement of these ears. It's incredible what they will tell you. The question in the chat was, what is the workbook? What is in the workbook that's not in the book? Now you see, it's the same size. I mean, whatever that size is, big, but it's really a wonderful collection of 52 pages of questions like that, and then specific observations, and then the outcome, the answers.
You can train yourself by this book. These are new. It's not in our big book. These are all new series, and so you can train what you see, and then you have the solution on the end of this book. This is a workbook to train yourself in observation.
And that's interesting also, that these are new pictures, and not, you didn't take pictures out of the book. They're more pictures. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Really fascinating.
More
and in the
questions
chat,
about
Katja, in the chat was actually really useful. Yeah, if I can find it. Somebody wrote in there where you can go online to see more examples from the book.
I don't know if Gisela has from the German book. I know some pages also on her homepage.
Erica put from Dogwise. She said you can preview some pages, and she has a Dogwise. It's from the Dogwise site, Dogs in Translation Workbook, a unique journey. So there are, if you probably go to the Dogwise page, there's probably a link to it.
But I think from the workbook we have not a lot pages, because it is not a big one. It is only, I think, Gabi, 20 series we have made for the workbook.
Was meinst du?
Waren es 20 Serien ich glaube, es waren 20.
Workbook? Warte, ich guck.
Oder 30? Nee, aber ich glaube, es waren 20.
30 waren es nicht.
20
Also,
oder 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I just wanted to jump in and say really quick,
etwa.
it is, it is a short workbook. I was actually the one who picked the pages to show on the preview, so I wanted to make sure we weren't giving too much away for free, but people still got an understanding of what the workbook was about, so that it added some value to want to own that book. So I know for sure in the newsletter that's coming out in a couple of weeks that you'll see the preview pages there from Dogwise. And then also on our website, we've got a few preview pages, and the workbook is available for sale in English through Dogwise. Currently available unless we sell out of stock this weekend.
So there's another thing that here is really helpful, because I don't think the question was really heard on what is splitting. And so Terry Jensen describes this as where one dog acts like a playground director and splits two dogs, which is what we saw in the example that with the black dog.
I think it is the most of the time there is, sometimes it's trouble that two dogs have stress with each other. Sometimes they only play, but one dog has for himself the opinion he have to split them both. And some dogs do this also with people, and it's also I think you can see it on Facebook and YouTube and so on. Sometimes it's also other cats do this behavior also, and I see this once. I think it was a dog splitting two hens. So almost there is action between two. Sometimes a couple is kissing, and the dog goes between and says, "Oh no, it's too much." And perhaps he for him it's not clear what is going on or so. I don't know why some of the dogs are doing this, but yes, some of the dogs doing this so often that I call them back and say, okay, you have not to clear up this situation. I can do, or the owner of the dog can do. Some of the dogs do it very nice and kindly, and only situations there I see, yes, he's right, and he do it in a very nice way. I let him do this, but not always, and not yeah, he is not responsible for the others. So the most of the time I call the dogs out of the situation if I see they want to clear up something, what is going on.
And Katja, one of the things that in the 5 Fs, which we've been writing about for more than 25 years, it's the fight, flight, faint, freeze, and fool around. And a lot of times people do not recognize that freeze. They think the dog is just being stubborn. They have no idea that they're simply not there. And what comes to my mind when I think of that is a dog that Robin took home from a training many, many years ago that would you mind if Robin talks about that? Just a moment. This dog, we had to move her step by step because she absolutely couldn't move. And if you think of how that can be misinterpreted. And the other thing is the faint. You just rarely, I've never seen it clearly in a dog like you see in a wolf. In a wolf, which I worked with a wolf in a rescue place years ago, and they said, oh, it's easy to work on. You just throw a blanket over it and they lie down. And
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The whole dog was, I mean, the whole wolf. It was really interesting. But I've never seen that in that way in a dog. It might be, you know, a form of freeze, of course, in a way, but I haven't seen it. And the fooling around, my God, how Katja and Gabi, how many times is that misinterpreted?
Yeah,
You know?
most of the time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah. And I see also a lot the puppies try all of the strategies. First, they fooling around, and then they freeze, and then they try to go back, and then they show the teeth, and the owner says, but he says nothing before. He only showed the teeth, and I say, oh, he shows the whole time that he has too much stress. Yeah. Yeah, other questions about, okay, then we have, I hope you can see now, this one, have it changed?
Yes.
Yes, okay, here you can order, if you have the Aufzeichnung, if you have the record of this, here it's, the first is dog-wise, and for UK and Europe, you can also take the performance dog. This is
Windows can't make it work. On my other one, there's a little button that expands it.
okay. Sandra Agrafiotis, you have a question? Oh no. Okay. UK and Europe. This is a publisher from UK. So you can also order here. There are a lot more bookstores will have this book in future, but this you can have it now also. And the German version, this is a Hundebuch shop. This is a publisher from Germany, and you can ask there at Hundebuch shop about the German version if you have questions about this. Yes.
And Katja, there's some more in the chat that I think should be addressed. Pamela Williams asks, what is the whale? What is a whale eye?
The whale eye is if you see something white in the dog's eye, and it's a little bit like a whale eye. So Barbara said she named it like this. And so we called it also in this way, and it's that sometimes you see more white than another color in the eye, and this is a really big whale eye then. But sometimes you see only a little bit white, it's also whale eye. Yeah, and it says something to you, because if you see the white, you know that the dog, the head is turning in one way and the eyes going in another way. He's not looking in front of him. And this is saying if he is turning his head away from the situation or turning the head into the situation, if he have the head in the direction of the other dog, but you see the whale eye, he is looking away. This is also a kind of friendly gesture of him. So whale eyes say a lot if you see the white in the eye of a dog.
So that's really interesting that it can be one way or the other, not necessarily the same interpretation. Whereas with a horse, when you see an eye, the white of the eye that isn't normally there, where the eye is normally brown, and you see the white suddenly, man, that horse is not in the body. Interesting.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
another thing here, Katja, for any of those of you who are from the UK, Extra Dogs is carrying the book in the UK, in the workbook. That's exciting.
Okay.
Yep. And also, I hope everybody's just running through the chat, because there are some, like in South Africa, Erica Caution got it from Amazon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing for you all,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
Well, she ordered it from the Amazon in the UK, and what she said is that the shipping cost more than the book, but it was worth it.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, yes.
So
But you can get it. This is the whole, what is counting, huh?
So here's just a comment. You could perhaps say something about the importance of being able to read dogs, as if we aren't dogs might show aggressive behaviors at some point. Not because they are, but because they do not know how else to help themselves. You mean, so reacting in situations, because I think, as you were saying, people didn't read what was going on. The people that say, oh, they gave me no warning, that sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah, and I have yesterday I had a call. It's normal in a dog school. A woman called me that her 1.5-year-old Bernardiner Weimaraner mixture has bit the 3-year-old child, and but before he only was nice. I said, yes, but I think you have missed something. You have to learn to look really after your dog, because never, he is 1.5, really friendly and nice dog, and never say something and then he bite the dog, the child. Never. He has shown a lot of things before. And so it's the important first step is to make the observation and to learn to see what is going on in the dog. And then you can react on this.
Yes, and the first part of our book is a part which to see the details, to see to learn on what part of dog you must looking to can read him.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah. It's like this. We do a lot of this. You see on the right side here, we do with the eyes, and we do with the mouth, and we do with the whole body.
Yes.
So yeah, you can really learn to
With
see
the-
it. Yeah.
The facial tension is the first what's changed. And there you can see.
There's another question here. Is the solution of what a dog actually is doing on the cover, can it be found in the book?
I don't understand.
Is that dog on the cover? It must be in the book to explain what's going on, right?
It is not in this book, it is in the workbook. we had this picture in the workbook and had the made the solution there. Yeah, what is going on in this? And it's the same dog like this here. It's my Rani, and she's now in heaven also. She was one of my dog, and you see in the workbook. If you have the workbook, you can see the picture, and you can read there what is going on in her at this time.
Oh,
Yeah.
there are 4 pictures on page 52. What is the dog on the cover actually doing?
Yeah.
Very fantastic.
Yeah.
Super
And
cool.
I see in the chat, but not now. There was a meaning about every veterinarian should have this book. I think every dog people have to have this book, because we have such a lot really nice rezensionen, nice statements about the book. All the people, and it was the same if they really do a lot with dogs and in the parsons, or they are really new in having dog. They all say they learned something more about their dog to read what is going on in the dog. So I'm really happy about that. We have now some breeders and some rescue organizations. They say they give to every dog this book with. They say, okay, the price is a little bit more from this dog, but you get this Betriebsanleitung description for this dog you get from us. And this is really, I think, helpful for the dogs, really.
And Katja, can you clarify something? You said it in the beginning, but there was a question, because there are several questions, what would you do with this dog? That this is not about training. This book is not how to change the behavior, you're saying.
We sometimes we say, of course, here it's a situation, the dog has stress, and we always say, we have little blocks also in this book. We say you have to make your that your dog feels safe in situations, and so you of course you have to train them to come back if you see he has stress, but it is not a training book or so. It's only to learn to see what is going on in your dog, and then you have the decision to make what you can react on this.
Fantastic. Thank
There's
you.
a question here. There were 2 things. One was, can you basically can you talk about calming signals? Well, kind of what you've been doing, but if you want to
take this book, because there are all the calming signals in, and we have a lot of pictures to every calming signal. And it's really funny to see. Yeah.
These are communication signals, not calming signals, because the dogs use the signals also for communication, not only for calming.
Yeah, actually a much better way to say it, because it is about communication. It is about communication. There was another question in human dog encounters, can we use these interpretations?
Human dog encounters. Is that the meaning? If we can say the same, it's a dog language between dogs and humans, it's the same? Because I not understand the question.
Yeah, no, I don't totally. I mean, maybe it is. Can you? I don't totally understand it either.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what she meant. That's what she meant.
Yeah. Okay, we have some of these pictures also in that a dog met a person, and yes, it is the most of the time exactly the same. I think sometimes they show the teeth to smile, and this the most of the time they show the human parts, not other dogs. So they do make sometime different between meet a dog or a human, but the most of the time it's the same.
Super. So,
Yes.
any
Okay.
other questions? Do you have anything else you'd like to show us?
Yeah, we have only the last slides. We have in German a webinar with Doc iBox, and it's on Monday. Now it's really, yeah, nearby. If you have interest in, but it's for Germans. And these are my trainings, and this was the slides.
Thank you. So you've got the touch and click, which has been a fabulous training.
Yeah, and I love touch and click because to combine the Tellington TTouch method with the positive reinforcement training is, I think, perfect to bring really calm, nice dogs, so that they have a good life, and we have also a good life. Yeah.
And being able to recognize before a situation occurs what is leading up to the possibility that there may be something, a situation you want to avoid. I think these pictures and are so helpful, these impressions.
You know, one thing I suggest to people is that if they videotape interactions between dogs, if they have an opportunity, because when you look back on video, you see so much more than you saw necessarily because a moment in time is such a moment in time.
And you have on the video, I think in 1 minute, 1,000 pictures. And we all know that we all have another observation on one picture. Because if we all see this one picture, like this picture on the book, every of us see other details in this. And if you have a minute from a video, there are 1,000 pictures. We are not able really to see something or to learn about really. If you see a lot of these pictures, you can get a feeling what is going on also in reality. But I think it's much more, all methods you can learn better if you make it in a slow motion, if you do it in a little step. And so it's much more easier with the pictures than the videos. I think with videos, the most of the people have I have a really hard time to learn really to see something.
And Katja, can you go back to the slides? I'd like to talk about 2 other things that you're doing that I think are really interesting.
Okay, yes, of course. I love to talk about, yeah.
So you're loving animals. It's a applied nonviolent communication developed by Marshall Rosenberg to deal with animals. And you're teaching that in both German and English, right?
Yes, and it's really a nice course because if you learn the nonviolent communication, it's such a great way to communicate with the people. And I know a lot of these people, they do it for years. And now we have made this new course, online course. And these people, they do a lot of nonviolent communication. They say, of course I can do it also with my horse or with my dog, or with they do it a lot their whole time, their whole life with other people, but they were not clear about that. They of course can do it also with our animals. And so we make this, yeah, we not know worldwide if there is another course like this, because I think it's important to make bring more nonviolent communication in this world, and of course also with our animals.
Beautiful. And you're leading to balance concept that was developed by Stephanie with Stephanie. And
Yeah. Some of the riders, I think they know, the horse people know centered riding, and but Stephanie says why they have problems to lead a 30-kilo German Shepherd. I have always to go every day with my 300-kilo or 800-kilo horse, and so she said, oh, what we do, perhaps it can help to you also. And we try to bring this what she do with the horses to the dog world, and it works very well. If the people change their way to leading, of course the dog realize this, and sometimes without changing anything, only that the people have other pictures in their mind, and the dog goes on loose leash. It's really nice to see. Yeah.
And your Hundgestützt.
Yes, this is for all the therapists and teachers and in kindergartens, and so if the people want to bring their dog within. We have this training for them to show them with Tellington TTouch, with leading to balance, and of course with positive reinforcement training. We show them how they can do this in a nice way for the dog and for them, yeah, and for the persons, yeah.
Well, any other questions that we have? Anything else you'd like to show us?
No, I think.
I look forward. We can take your slide down a moment and we can see everyone. Let's see. Can you bring us back so we're all on screen? If you
Yes,
take
of course I can, of course.
Yeah, that's better. Great. So we can just get a sense with, I'll go back to the gallery, which is really nice to see everyone. It's been really a pleasure for me to be able to present this to you all. And I look forward, Katja, I will be with you in Berlin, and Gabi,
Yes.
on the first weekend in April. We're very exciting to get together again. Blessings. Have a great day wherever you are, and may the force be with you. And may you just love your dogs and every moment appreciate them. I couldn't make it on this. We'll be sending this opportunity to see Katja and Gabi. Blessings. Aloha.